I'm on the line right now with Deonna Purrazzo, the Virtuosa, who has been taking Impact Wrestling by storm lately. You have a pretty high-profile match coming up against Jordynne Grace for the Knockouts Championship at Slammiversary. How you doing today?
I'm very good. How are you?
Good. Normally, I would start off by asking how you're staying busy during this unprecedented time, but as I mentioned, you just debuted with Impact Wrestling, and I saw that you're going back to school, so I guess the better question is, how do you balance all of that right now between wrestling and pursuing your education?
Luckily, it is unprecedented times. There's not a ton of other things that we could be doing right now, so going back to school was, I thought right now, the best option and the easiest option to kind of get back into that schedule. So, luckily I'm in the house 90% of the day, so it hasn't been too hard of an adjustment.
You came to Impact Wrestling a few weeks ago, and you're returning to the Virtuosa, the name. How much have you grown and, really paid attention to striking a balance between the Virtuosa being a character versus letting your in-ring work speak for itself?
Yeah, I think there's a delicate balance, and for a long time, I thought to just let the Virtuosa be a personality and not necessarily a character. And before, NXT or anything that I've done, when I came up with Virtuosa, it was just to be a moniker, and it was just to be elegant and pretty and tie in my, Italian roots and just kind of to be there. It wasn't meant to be who I am. So there was a little pushback for me of creating a character around it, but I really think since coming to Impact, and they seem to really understand what Virtuosa means, how to integrate it in nuances and words, and not necessarily make it this grand, over-the-top character, but let me be who I am and just have nuances of a virtuosa, or who a virtuoso would be. So I think they really helped me define that balance between just being a good in-ring worker and then also being a personality.
Do you feel like people have already gotten to learn more about you in this short amount of time with Impact than maybe the past few years? Because I feel like we knew where you trained, the history with Rip Rogers and Damian Adams, and then, you brought up your Italian heritage. Do you feel like you're already getting a jump start, or, just showing people really what you wanted to bring to wrestling that you didn't get the past few years?
100%. And I think that, has been my biggest gripe over the last few years, is just really wanting the platform to show the work that I do and who I am and to be a part of. Is really what I wanted, to feel like I was making a difference and to feel like my presence was felt. And just, from how I debuted in Impact, coming out after the main event and attacking the champion, right there is more character development than I've gotten to do in a really long time. So we've only been able to go uphill from there. We've only been able to show more sides of who I am, outside of the ring, and I think that for me is the most important thing, because I haven't been shy about that. That's probably the biggest thing that I lack. And for Impact to really embrace Virtuosa, embrace who I am and what I bring to the table, and understand it, has really helped me bring that to the forefront and show the world what I haven't been able to in the past.
You also have a really cool theme song. I know Matt Kuhn worked on that. Did you have any input when you guys were putting that together to kind of really put into place how you wanted your debut to come off?
Yeah, so I had messaged Matt Kuhn about, putting together music for me right off the bat. And I didn't know whether it would be able to be used at Impact, or if it was just going to be something I could use in the Indies or what, but I really wanted to use this as another platform to help people understand Virtuosa. And, the definition of Virtuosa is, an individual with outstanding technical ability. And that relates a lot into music and art. So I thought using entrance music that was, almost an orchestra, and just uses all of these different instruments and a violin very heavily, would help maybe tie that in a little bit more. So Matt and I worked probably for 3 or 4 weeks on making this perfect and just right.
Yeah, I definitely think it's showing that it fits your character. I know he's very passionate about his work as a musician. You're passionate about your work as a wrestler, so it came together rather nicely. I don't know if you see it or if you hear it a lot, but kind of like this hard-nosed, like old school vibe from who you're trying to portray. And in recent years, Nick Aldis did it with the NWA Championship where he goes to the territories. I know more or less some Impact wrestlers do it too, but could you see yourself, if you win the championship at Slammiversary, kind of embracing that fighting champion style? Or
Yeah, I mean, that's a great point. So if that is an option, then, I will take on any and all competitors. But, right now, Impact has such a stacked women's division that I think any and all competitors is who we have right now. And some of the top stars in the world are within our women's division. So, we have Camille Dashwood, we have Taya Valkyrie, Jordan Grace in herself, championship or not, is such a big value to our company. Tasha Steelz just debuted, Nevaeh just debuted. We have put so much emphasis on our women's division that I don't think I have to go very far to get some of the best challenges that I can. And that is so exciting to me. So I'd love to be the people's champion and take it everywhere, but I have such a great core group of girls to work with right now that I don't know that that's necessarily necessary.
when you came on board, like even in the past few weeks since you debuted, you mentioned 2 new names, Nevaeh, Tasha Steelz, and then even before that, Kylie Rae came on board. And Impact's always been known for their women's division, the Knockouts division, being a top quality, having the best athletes, but then yourself, those 3 names coming on board, like you really have one of, if not the most stacked Knockouts rosters they've ever had. So in saying that, is there anybody that, not to look past Jordan Grace at Slammiversary, but is there anybody you really want to work with that you haven't had a chance to work with yet?
Yeah, so obviously I trained with Tasha Steelz for years. So to be able to work with Tasha in this capacity, in a new place, we've never been here. I couldn't tell you the last time we wrestled. It's probably 3 years ago now. We both changed so much. So that would be like a dream come true for me. But then there is Taya Valkyrie. There is Kylie Rae. These are, Nevaeh, people that I haven't really ever gotten to spend a lot of time in the ring with. And I just think that we have such different styles. And I think, that is true for everyone across the division. It's so diverse in what we all bring to the table. So those are just 4 names I'm throwing out, but I want to be able to wrestle every single one of them when I become champion at Slammiversary.
Getting to that point, you arrived and got a very big match right away. You're facing Jordan Grace at Slammiversary. What does that mean to you personally, that Impact put you in that position, they believe in you, and they're putting you in that spot where you can succeed? And Jordan's the champion, but last year she was almost in the same boat as you, where she was a new face, people knew her name on the indies, but then she's getting thrust into the spotlight, and she really became somebody to watch on Impact. And do you see like parallels between that? And can you just talk about your general thoughts about the match itself?
Sure. So I know that like coming in and having such a high profile match puts a target on my back. And that is a target that I see very clearly and that I've put on myself to. I feel this pressure to perform at a new level, at a higher standard than I've gotten to perform to in the past. And I think that it just comes with the territory of like coming in and being like, no, I am a star. And we might not have all seen it before, but rest assured in the next 7 or 8 weeks, we will all see what I feel about myself. And for Impact to give me that platform, for Impact to give me the time to develop myself and develop my personality and my character and prove to the world that I deserve this opportunity, that I'm worthy of this opportunity, as a person, means the world to me, because I haven't gotten to do a lot of these things before anywhere. So the pressure that Jordan might have felt last year kind of coming into herself and coming into this role on such a big platform, I am 100% feeling right now. But I know that I'm a star. I know that I deserve to be the champion, and I'm willing to put in the work to get myself there.
You're obviously talented in the ring, but how much of this is you coming in with a chip on your shoulder versus people, people might say you're cocky. So how do you answer that?
I mean, people have said that. I've seen Tenille Dashwood say that, I think that those two things are almost synonymous with each other. When you talk about the opportunities that you haven't gotten and the opportunities that you're ready for, people automatically assume, like, oh, they have a big head, you're cocky, you're this, you're that. Like, I am actively putting in the work to make sure that I live up to all of the claims. I believe in my heart that I'm one of the best technical, if not the best, technical women's wrestlers in the world, and I just need the platform to prove it. And I think at Slammiversary, like, this is the first platform that I'm getting to prove that to the masses. And for the people that might think that's cocky of me, like, that's fine, but let me prove you wrong.
One of the fun takeaways from all of this, and I will say part of it's the trash talk between you and a few of the other knockouts has been fun to watch. Like, Taya, you seem like you have a lot of respect for, but she joked on another show that, she was like, I don't know her, and, I don't deal with people that wear one color ring gear. And it's been fun. It's just, it's nothing like disparaging. It's just kind of like, okay, we'll meet in the ring when we get there. So
yeah, it is like a testament to everything I've been saying. This division, the women's division in Impact, but it goes for the men's division too. Like, we all, I feel, have come together, and I'm new to this environment, but just like my first take on it is that everyone wants to work to better their partner or to better the person next to them, and the best way we can do that right now is through social media. So I welcome the banter. Like, I want to be a part of that, because that's going to be another platform to get people invested in Slammiversary, in, the week after Slammiversary's TV, the 2 weeks after that, 3 weeks after that, whatever the next pay-per-view is. That's going to keep people engaged throughout the week from TV episode to TV episode. So I think it, is a testament to everything I've said, with all of us wanting to work together and be a family and push this product to the next level.
There's been a bunch of teases to close Impact over the past few weeks. Last week, it was Aces and Eights. Last night seemed to imply Super Eric Young was coming back. Do you want to see anybody in particular come back to the company, whether it's a knockout or just somebody you were a fan of from TNA history?
I have loved all of the Aces and Eights teasers, and mainly because I'm a Sons of Anarchy fan, and that is probably my all-time favorite TV series. So I feel like it draws a lot of parallels between the two, and I would love to see them come back. But, I think that there's just a really great list of talent that'll be on the market soon. And anyone who comes in, whether they're former Impact superstars or, names we've never met before, I think that it only adds to the product that we're putting out, and only adds to the value of what we're doing, that people want to be part of it again or for the first time. So it's really exciting.
I'll close with this, and we talked quite a bit about you getting an opportunity for the first time. When this whole quarantine thing went down, people were worried about having content to watch, and Impact's been able to stay on top of that. But I've been asking people to recommend matches, whether it's from your own career or just one that really stands out. Are there any matches that you really want people to look at that show who you are as a wrestler, or is there one that you've been watching maybe recently that, you're just taking inspiration from?
So, two come to mind. And one is a match that I was in myself that probably is like one of my all-time favorite matches that I've ever had. And it's myself versus Karen Q in Dallas, Texas, in like a no DQ match. And she's one of my best friends. We were like in this rivalry, and it's just really fun. It's a different side of myself that isn't so much the Virtuosa, but is just like a brawler. And I really, really love that match. The second match is Eddie Guerrero versus Chris Jericho at, I believe, Fall Brawl 97. And I just think it's such a good mash of, like, power and strength and tactical and lucha, and I've watched that match for years just for inspiration, just to kind of get me back into, like, the love of wrestling when I feel like, oh, I don't want to watch anything. It really excites me about all of the possibilities of what I can do, how I can, reinvent myself over time, and it's just one of my favorites. So those would be my two matches to suggest to anyone that needs some content right now.
Awesome. Deonna Purrazzo will face Jordynne Grace at Slammiversary July 14th, but until then you can see her on Impact Wrestling every week on Access and Twitch. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you so much.